tragic news in South Africa. A 27-year-old taxi driver by the name of Mido Macia was tied to the back of a police car by 3 police officials, and they started driving as he was tied to the car. In fact, this video was posted by journalists in South Africa, and it got picked up by other media outlets. It's a little difficult to watch, so I want to give you guys a warning before we look at it. Now, with that said, let's take a look and I'll give you more details.
The man is overpowered, but it doesn't end there. He's not being put in the back of the police van. He's being tied to it. The officers hold on to his legs, but when the van races off, they can't keep up.
Now, they took him to a police cell, and 2 hours later, he was found dead by a different police official. He apparently suffered from head and upper abdomen injuries, including internal bleeding. And this turns out to be a huge problem in South Africa. I mean, we talk about police corruption and brutality in the United States, but apparently it also happens in other countries and to a much worse extent. And just to give you an idea of how many people have died because of police actions in South Africa, the average number of people who died in police custody from police actions about 860 people from 2009 to 2010, and that was actually an increase. Between 2003 and 2008, that number was 695 people.
So in this case, you had the witnesses there, they see the cops doing it. Then they're telling the cops, hey, don't do it, and we're videotaping you. They literally told the cops that. The cops didn't care, and they did it anyway.
Yes.
So to me, that's really telling, because that means the cops think that they are so utterly above the law that everything else is irrelevant. And look, you get police brutality often case because it's their job to enforce the law. So it's not surprising that they would think that they're above the law in many different instances. It's not surprising that there are countries that are much worse than the US in terms of police brutality. But the degree to which it's apparent in South Africa is obviously out of control. And there are often reported times where the cops, instead of protecting the community, do the very crimes they're supposed to be protecting the community from: murder, rape, etc. Now, in this case, is there a question as to who killed this guy? Come on, right? Now, he had internal bleeding, as you said, and
head injuries, abdomen injuries,
obviously from dragging, him behind the car. Or maybe they brought him into the jail cell and he was near death, and they finished off the job by beating him to death. Either way, it doesn't matter. Every single police there should be charged for murder, indisputably.
Absolutely.
But on a much bigger scale, South Africa has to make this #1 priority. Look, they have a huge rape rate right now per capita in South Africa to begin with. That's been a long time issue. Then you've got this police brutality issue. Look, the number that Anna gave you, 860 people
in 1 year.
Dying in police custody. Oh, come on. That's not a coincidence. That's not a fluke. That's a giant number year in and year out.
Well, that number gives these cops reason to believe that they can do whatever they want and they won't face any consequences, which is why they didn't care at all that there were individuals there that were videotaping them and telling them they were videotaping them. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, well, what did this guy do that led to this kind of reaction from the police? Well, apparently he's a cab driver, and he was allegedly obstructing traffic with his vehicle.
No, so obviously you murder him, right?
So the situation escalated, and it got to a point where he allegedly assaulted a constable and took his weapon before.
That's what it is. So they got embarrassed, right? Oh, the guy came and took your weapon, ha. Okay, so let's go kill him. Let's drag him behind a car and murder, okay? And that's always what it is with bullies. They're always the most insecure, the weakest, the saddest, the most pathetic. Oh my God, I felt insecure for 5 seconds because a guy happened to take my gun away. By the way, he took the gun away and he didn't shoot any of them. He could have killed them all right there. He had the gun, right? He could have at least killed the guy that he took the gun from, but he didn't, right? Doesn't matter, you embarrassed me for 5 seconds, your sentence is death. There is no question that from high on up, now they have a new police commissioner, relatively new, okay? So you should give that person a chance to see if they can reform it. They say they're going to, of course, that's what they all say. But obviously, the previous authorities told all the cops, made it crystal clear to them, you do whatever the hell you want. There are no rules. You are above the law. That's why they have abused their own citizens to this degree.